What fool thing is Johnny doing now? Well, here we go. Lee Hacklin, private investigator, in Tyrant and Tyrave, Chapter 8. Good morning, Kevin. Who's the stud muffin? We were inside the Dairyville diner. It was about a mile from Hank's ranch. I extended my hand. Myrna Lipton, a dead ringer for Polly Holiday from Alice, took it and gave it a prolonged squeeze. Our eyes locked. Easy, Hacklin, you're not on vacation. I'm Lee Hacklin. I'm very sorry about Corky. Who's that? Oh, him. My psycho deadbeat brother, dishonorably discharged from the army after he fell asleep while on sentry duty and got his whole platoon killed. Ugh. When Sheriff Hamilton called me this morning, I damn near jumped for joy. Not safe for work. That sperm waste has been nothing but an albatross around my neck for as long as I can remember. Our mama cursed the world by birthing that blight. Good riddance. Lee, I'm a married woman twice now, first to that two-timing Tyler Wick, and now I'm married to George Grady, Lord La-di-da town councilman. He's on thin ice, that rug and corset-wearing status hound. Where's your roots, handsome? Kevin slapped my back, ouch, and said, He's here all the way from the Big Apple, Myrna. Heavens to Betsy. Pardon me. I'm 40 years old, and I ain't been more than a stone's throw outside of Dairyville. George's idea of a honeymoon was 2 nights at our local Best Western. Free cable, clean bed sheets. I asked myself, did I marry George Grady or George Jefferson? You got a girlfriend, Lee? Never mind. I might as well ask Popeye if he likes spinach. There's 1 table left, fellas. Better grab it. She pinched my behind. Kevin and I sat across from each other. She's kind of shy, isn't she? Her reaction didn't surprise me in the least. Nobody liked Corky. Even so, my guts never lied to me once. Corky was murdered. I'm doggone certain of it. Myrna dropped off 2 cups of coffee, took her order, and ruffled my hair. You too skinny, Lee. How about a stack of flapjacks? On the house. You're very kind, Myrna. I graciously accept. The place was packed, all men save for Myrna. Every one of them wore either a hard hat, a ball cap, or a cowboy hat. There were times when I was damn proud to be American, and that was one of them. When Myrna walked past our table again, she squeezed my shoulder, and one of the hard hats barked, Hey, pal, that's my brother's sister you're hitting on. The sounds of cutlery striking plates suddenly stopped. Myrna pointed her notepad at him and yelled, Take a chill pill, Glenn. Mind your own beeswax. If George were here and saw how you were behaving, he'd slap you to tomorrow. George couldn't punch his way out of a paper bag, and if he ever so much as thought of doing such a thing, I'd give him a good gelding. Slut. You're referring to your mama, of course. My mama is your husband's mama, too, and when I explain to him why I killed you, he'll shake my hand and thank me. Glenn stood and rushed her with a steak knife pointed forward. I tagged him with a hammer fist. He dropped the knife and fell to his knees. The other men laughed. One of them said, You just got owned by a city slicker, Glenn. You'll be hearing about it for the rest of your life. Myrna kicked his face just as Sheriff Hamilton and 2 deputies entered the place. Without missing a beat, Myrna said, Good morning, Sheriff. Corky in the morgue by now? Better late than ever, boys. Hamilton, his breath still smelled like booze, a la a pack of Trident, removed his hat and said, Myrna, I'm going to have to arrest you. Glenn stood, wiped some blood off his face with his sleeve, spat some blood on the floor, and said, I ain't never pressed no charges against no man, and I ain't gonna do that against no woman either. That there's my sister-in-law. Not for long, after I tell George what she said about our mama. He left, and the other patrons resumed eating and chatting as though nothing had happened. Hamilton and the deputies sat at the counter. Kevin asked me, What do you think of our little town, Lee? It's not boring. Myrna, can you give me Corky's address? She tore off a strip of paper from her notepad, scribbled on it, and said, Sure, you can have my home phone number, too. The man at the house, a.k.a. Booze Breath, doesn't come home until after 9. Call before then. She handed me the slip and went back to work. Hank grinned from ear to ear and said, I think she likes you, Lee. Be careful. George Grody and Oberon Horn are tight. I'm no homewrecker, Kevin. Speak of the devil. A tall, gray-haired man in a black suit entered. He was flanked by 2 other men, also in suits, wearing dark sunglasses. They looked like Secret Service agents, complete with those little ear coils. All the patrons, including Hamilton, his deputies, and Hank, stood. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Kevin whispered, This is why I brought you here, Lee. I hate this, but for now we have to play the game. When in Rome. I continued to sit, lit a blue buzzard, and said, Rome fell, Kevin. This is America, alive and shit kicking. I'm planted. Besides, this is the best damn cup of joe I've ever had. It's a first draft. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, God loves you. And so does Johnny. Cheers.